Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Spiritual journey is a funny place for people. I mean, for me, you get to this place where it's quiet, very, very quiet, because you stop wanting to hang around like meaningless conversations and meaningless activities, unless they involve people like your loved ones. I'm happy to spend time with my children and meaningless activities for them in a sense because it's not meaningless because the time with them is so meaningful. But it's just like the nonsense stops and it gets really quiet and a lot of and I've heard from people along my journey, but not as much anymore now that I'm by myself a lot. But along my journey, the people who are on this journey, there's a boredom factor that kicks in. You get bored, especially growing up here in New York and the Western world, where we fill ourselves up with so much stuff, chasing and bars and drinking and getting messed up and chasing relationships and chasing money and chasing activities and fun and not knowing how to just have fun in the stillness of life. And it took me a long time, and I'm not gonna lie, like it's still a work in progress. I think it still takes a lot of time for it to for you to like get out of that rat race mentality of like having to do something in order to fulfill yourself because it's constantly chasing a high after a high after a high, and learning to just be with what it seems so simple. But the reason being, I think here, especially like growing up here, you grow up. I mean, I grew up with wealth. Again, whether or not we had money, I don't know, but we I grew up in a big home and I was given a lot of things, so it seemed like I grew up with a lot. So it could be that we did have a lot, and definitely rich for the world. And when you grow up rich for the world, like there's this feeling of like you have to live up to the Joneses. You have to live up like your neighbors. You have to make sure to hustle. And if you don't work hard, you're not gonna have. And they'll tell you, yeah, believe in God, and you go to synagogue, and you go to church, and you go to mosque, and you go to all these things and temples, and I'll tell you, God, believe in God, believe in God. But yeah, you have to go do. You have to make sure it happens. And if you don't make it happen, what's gonna be? You're gonna be on the street, and no one's gonna take care of you, and you're not gonna have the things everyone else has. And how are you gonna pay for this? And everyone's talking about what the bills are, and everyone's mentioning like, oh, how much does it cost to do this, and how much does it cost to do that? And if you hear people like that's the conversations people are having. Did you see how much this the prices of eggs went up, and did you see the price of gas went up? And these are conversations that people are having. Like they're talking about money. Like those are the conversations. It comes up in like nearly every conversation with people in these areas. So I've had to learn to like get out of that world and into a place of presence and into a place of like nature and just being with it and allowing myself to realize like the beauty of this place. Like I could look up to the clouds right now and I hear the sounds and like I see a bird just flew by and that's what it is, and just to appreciate that and then to give it over on a video right now, to give it over to others to see the God in every single thing that we're doing. And I feel like I feel like it's like I wrote a poem called "A Repetitive Game" that I put out there, and it seems like that. Like things are just very much the same, just slightly different on a daily. Like things slightly change. That's like how we get older. Is like we slightly get older, and each day you're slightly getting a little older, and slightly things are shifting. But if you could stay in the present moment, like I've noticed that people will say that people look younger. Present people tend to look younger. Present people are joyful. Not that outward like happy, 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 which is true. You do have those moments of like ecstasy and happiness, but it's more of this joyful contentment place to be in where you're just enjoying this. And it's weird to create content at the same time doing it because there's a feeling of like, well, if you're when you're creating content, it's like, well, then you're not being present to what's happening around. But the truth is like You have to be present to the creating of the content and just be present to the fact that there is all this stuff going on and there's also this going on. And part of 2025 is we have technology, and here we are. And like, I'm off of, like, I don't have Instagram, I don't have Facebook, I don't have Twitter, I don't have anything right now other than YouTube. I did go on Red Note, the Chinese Instagram, for a little bit, and I did go on TikTok for a little bit, brief stints on both of those, and they were fun. And I really didn't do it in terms of looking at other people's content. I was kind of creating, and there could come a point where I'm going to do that on there as well, just to create content for there, so other people could get access to my information. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I want to be able to share these things. I want to be able to, like, express what I need to express and give over to whoever needs to hear it. But it's going to get over through YouTube or whatever function it's supposed to, whether, because if God wants it to happen, then the one person who's supposed to get this information is going to get it. And it could be just one person. It could be that maybe it's just for me to be able to hear my own words, like reviewing a video of myself. Like, sometimes I review it just to come up with, let's say, a title or a description. So I review it again to see, because I'm present right now, but then when it's over, it's almost like I forget what I even spoke about because I'm in the next moment and I'm not back in the video. Then I watch the video again and I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I talked about, and to come up with a title and description. But ultimately, each moment to the next is that's how we're supposed to be living, is that you're just in it right now. You're making a video now. When the video's over, you're on to the next activity. But when you're in the video, just be in the video. But again, there's also the reality of, like, I'm in the video, but there's also things happening. I hear the sirens of an ambulance or a police car. Then I feel the wind and I hear the slight breeze, and I you can hear, like, the bugs a little bit, and you could hear the birds, and you could hear the humans from a distance. And it's all part of this present moment. It's all part of my reality in this current moment, and no mistake is made in this reality. Everything is for me to appreciate all of it and to stay in that place of gratitude and love and knowing. There's a knowing, like Ramdas would say underneath, like stop saying you don't know, because in truth you do know. You do know. If you would stop saying, people will say, like, no, I don't know about God or about that. But in truth, we all do know. We all know if we stop and, like, forget even like closing your eyes, just like look around every single thing, like behind me, this tree. A tree is living, it's growing, nothing hasn't been, and yet it's still growing and growing and growing. We are constantly growing, getting older, getting bigger when we're younger until we get here, and we get growing bigger, and we're growing in different sizes based on what we eat or based on what we do, and we're just molding into these different forms. And the reality is that it's the form that God wanted us in that exact moment. But it's the realities that we're creating with Him, that if we believe in certain things, then we become a certain way. And when you start to see and really truly believe, like, I keep on thinking of Dave Matthews, because again, he's my favorite musician, and he really says you have to do. He says you have to do more than just believe. It's not just believe. You have to. It's inside out. You have to really go in to see the truth. It's a wild thing. You go in and in and in, and then every time you think of to do something, just go in. My way of doing it is, like, sometimes I feel like I have to do so. I come out into nature. I go into different, like, there's different areas of nature, but sometimes in certain places there are people that are there, and I'll say hello, and it's not a distraction because I'm supposed to be there with those people in that exact moment, but at the same time, like, I try to go to places where I can at least have some time where I'm by myself and get away from the humans, but to be able to, I want to be close enough where I can see other humans. Like, it's kind of nice to be part of, like, this world where you see there's everyone's involved in it, but at the same time to be far enough away where you get your space, and, like, that's when you feel God's grace. You start to just appreciate everything. I I want to give over as much as I can to others this feeling because I would love for people to get to this place and be able to join me in a sense. And there are those that are going to join me when the time is right, like those people who are really in that place, feel that grace, to feel like, oh my gosh, wow, I don't need to go do. It gets frustrating, I'm not going to lie, because even when you watch videos from others, there's constantly promoting people. People are promoting like different things. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's promoting like promoting something to make money. It's constantly promotion. Because there's the feeling of like I need to promote in order to receive. I need to market myself. And one could say when people say like, share, and subscribe, like I do sometimes, it can feel like that too. And it's really not about what is said, I guess. It's really more about like the feelings people give over when they're sending out their messages. Um, there is this feeling of like selling yourself, selling a book, selling this way, and there's no other way around it. I mean, right? It's like seems like that's what has to be done until someone comes and says, "Forget it." Like I'm not selling anything. I mean, it's all gonna happen. It's all gonna happen. God's gonna give you exactly what He's gonna give you at the exact moment. He's gonna give me all the things I ever could have dreamed of, as long as I know that dream is still there, as long as I know that's the reality, that is my reality, that God's always going to provide for me in the exact moment, in the exact time that He decides to. That's it. He's going to decide exactly how much money you're getting exactly at this point. I was talking to my mom about this, that you could go to someone could think they're getting paid, $100 for a class that they're giving, and they could go to the class and they get paid $100. So who's paying you? The owner's paying you the $100, or the clients are paying you the $100, or is that God giving you the $100? So that's God through the messenger of that person give you $100. But we also know that you could go to that class and you could get stiffed, and that person might not pay you. And then what? And God decided to give you zero, or maybe the class was so great that that person gave you 100 plus another $50, like a tip or something, and then all of a sudden you got $150. So again, that's the person, or is that God giving you that money? And my belief, my knowing, is that it's God. It's God giving you every single thing exactly what you're supposed to have in that exact second, what you need for that moment. Not a dollar more, not a dollar less. And it's freaky for people because there's a fear of like, well, what happened? Because we constantly check our bank accounts, because we constantly check the next bill, because we constantly check, we're counting dollars, counting up the math. We're counting all the time. My schedule, how many clients, how many classes, how many this, how much do they make for this, how much is this, and then supermarket shopping and this, and you're constantly counting and counting and counting. And I was there, and trust me, it's not fun to be doing that. Like, and then you start to become more present. You start to like let it go. You pay your bills when they come. When things come up, you'll know it's not like you're gonna forget. Like the first of the month comes, you're gonna pay your mortgage, your rent, your bills, whatever you got, your child support that I have to pay. So you know about it. It's not going away. So you pay it. And then what I do is I pay it, and then there's a blessing for me that I say over the flow of money, that the God is the one who provides. Thank you for the amount of money. Thank you for allowing me to have that money to pay out all these things. And thank you for the amount of money that you're going to give me, because at the exact moment in time that I need that money, that is yours, that you've given me this opportunity. And then breathe and let it go, and let the flow come naturally. And the more you breathe into it, the more you start to live it, the more you start to do it, the more you start to realize it is the truth. And that's why it's hard to be around others that are not living in that reality. Because if they're living in a 3D reality where you have to go make things happen for yourself, then that's your reality. And I can't bring you into my reality because it's not fair, meaning it's not fair for you. You're not in that place, and you're going to end up getting hurt. You're going to end up feeling fear, and you might lie to me about it, because when you're around me, you might feel a certain way. But you have to be true to yourself. Ram Dass would say, like, don't be a phony holy. Don't pretend you're at a place you're not. Like, I couldn't pretend anymore. There comes a point where where you see certain things and you can't go backwards. You can't go back into that 3D way of living of like, it's just not real. So everyone would say like, well, how do you know? How do you know it's going to work out? And you just know. You know it's going to be because you just know because you breathe and breathe and breathe and you laugh when these things are happening where people are getting freaked out. I had a conversation with a woman at a store and she starts opening up about her life and telling me about how she's having struggles with her knees and the doctor said she needs to get a new car because the car's so low to the ground to get a car that's higher up so she doesn't end up with needing like knee replacement surgery or whatever it is and all these consequences. But really I didn't want to say it to her, but I was thinking it in that moment, which is that the doctor's putting into your mindset that you're going to have issues. So that now you believe the doctor so much that you're going to have, you believe that there's a cause and effect. Like if I don't listen to this doctor, I'm going to end up with knee replacement surgery. That's one way of looking at it. Or you could say, why the hell are you listening to that doctor? He's talking to you about a future. Is he God? Does he know what's going to happen? Oh, but he knows based on other people. But that's other people that already happened. What about you in this current moment? How about you breathe? And how do you feel about the car? Do you want the car? Now, you might not want that car anymore. You might want a higher car. So you don't want to be low to the ground. That's fine. So get the higher car. Don't have to be so low to the ground, but not because someone else told you to do it. And that's the feeling I've had during my own spiritual journey, which is that I had to learn that cause and effect is not really a real thing. It's real in a sense of like, if you believe a certain thing, then you have to do something in order to make that happen. Like I believe, like if I don't brush my teeth in the morning, my breath is gonna smell. So I brush my teeth, right? Or if I feel my breath is smelling, I want my breath to smell good. I might take gum or brush my teeth, or I smell under my arms and they smell. I want to put some deodorant on, or I spray some cologne to make myself smell good. Because in that moment, I feel like I smell it on myself that I, for myself, don't smell good, and therefore I want to smell good in that moment. Now, you might spray it on, and 2 minutes later, you smell again. That's just not. So the reality is, it might not be that makes a difference what you do, because at the end of the day, you might smell 2 minutes later or 2 seconds later. Again, it's a reality for you that changes moment to moment, but you just go with what is in this particular moment. And that's all I've been trying to do this my whole journey. And then you get to the place where it's not even, you can't try anymore to do one way or the other. There's no way of going the other way. There's no way of living in another reality when you start to see the world this way, when you start to see God in the little things and the big things and everything in between, in your dreams, every single scene. um, you start to, every person that comes across your path, every leaf that falls, every that bug just flew by, and I could talk about it for days on end. And I can't wait to come across people that appreciate these conversations, that could sit with me in nature and just do this and literally talk about God and talk about the awesomeness of like freaking awesome. It's an amazing place to be. It's a place of mystery. It's a place of no dramas. It's a place of if you feel that drama, back down. Thoughts come up and they pass away like clouds. They come and they go all day long. It's just a beautiful song. It's not wrong that the thoughts come in because God allowed them to come in. So it's not a sin that they've come in. Just that line is very thin, right? So you just have to know that it's a very thin line, just like my rhymes, just like counting, your dimes. It's just a different way to be in this world. It's just a different way. It's a way to play. And it's okay because really what you want to do is play. And like when I would rhyme a lot with, like, I felt like I could rhyme sometimes with my friends, but it's hard for people if they're not in that cute little, like, lighthearted place of like, it's just what I'm doing. I'm not trying to be pursuing. It's just what's happening right here, right now. Sometimes I don't know how, but I just know it's part of my Tao. And that's the fun. The fun is to not know how it's going to go because it's just one big show, but it's not your show, it's God's show. Because you got that glow and because He already knows how it all goes. He literally knows. And I can go on and rant, and maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. But I want everyone to be in that place. Like, silly. like that place of silliness, that place of like letting go, and like the place of like who cares, right? Like who cares? So you sound silly or you sound like childish. I tell people all the time, I don't want to grow up. I don't think I ever will grow up. I'm here to be a big kid, a mature child. Like I'm mature and sometimes, yeah, sure, but I'm not here to be responsible. I was responsible for so long. I'm here to like let God take care of me. Let God be my dad. Take care of me, Dad. Show me what to do next. I was relying on all you guys to tell me what to do, religions, my parents, my friends that guide me on the path of telling me like, oh, I should do this path, that. And I was following everyone else. So why would I go from that to now following more people? Instead, why don't I just follow God? Why don't I really truly listen to the universe and rely and fall on it and go into this place of, okay, what happens if I follow God? Well, I know what happens. Magical mystery ride. That is it. It's a magical mystery ride. Just think of it as like a roller coaster. And what happens to the roller coaster? You end up having a blast. And then you get off on the roller coaster, and then you go on another roller coaster. And then little kids will be like, but what happens if God forbid, it, there's an accident? Who thinks that way when you go to an amusement park? You ever go to an amusement park or any of these, like Six Flags, one of these places, and you think like, oh my God, there's gonna be such a terrible tragedy? And yes, sometimes it happens. Once in a blue moon, something happens, somebody dies on a ride. Guess what? We all end up dying. In this world, this physical body is not here forever, but our consciousness is here forever. So yes, so once in a while, unfortunately, yes, your body drops and you're on to the next incarnation. You're on to the next whatever it is you think you're doing next. But for right now, you are who you are. So enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride up and down, all around, side to side, upside down. Who knows? Just don't have that frown when you know God is all around. His surround sound, literally 24/7. God. So I'll enjoy this bod until the time comes. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do. We're just here to have fun together. That's all we're doing. And if I can make this journey a little bit easier for people, just to like make it a little more lighthearted, just try to enjoy nature, try to go for a walk, try to look at the leaves, try to say hi to people, try to hi to the birds, say hi to the bugs that crawl on you instead of being like, oh my God, they're so annoying. Be like, hello, hi God, thank you, thank you. That's what I do. I literally say thank you, thank you. Bug bites, thank you. Yeah, itchy. I have to scratch it. Yeah, it's annoying sometimes. Get scratches. I make jokes about them that they turn to rashes. But thank you. The bugs. I got a cut on my foot. Thank you. And that's it. So thank you for being here, and have a great rest of the day, whatever it is you do.